In today's video, we're gonna build an amazing World War II diorama with a lot of epoxy resin. I hope you enjoy this one. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to another fantastic video. My plan for this diorama, I have this Rommel's rod Monogram Kit for years now, and I was wondering what can I do with this one. So I think I found the perfect way of putting this nice kit to the test. So the first thing is basically the idea behind this diorama is we're gonna do a really damaged vehicle with a lot of rust. So that's basically the plan. So I'm just gonna put a lot of damage on the vehicle, a lot of crack. I'm gonna cut everything. So basically I'm just gonna be loose. So I'm just gonna build a diorama that will be 30 centimeters by 20. So it's not gonna be a big one, but basically it's gonna have a really awesome base, and we're gonna put a lot of different things for this diorama. So after we carve, I would say the layout that we are looking for, I'm gonna use a product called Sculptamold. By the way, all the link of the product that I will use in this video will be in the link in the description below. So Sculptamold, I'm using this product for years because honestly, instead of using plaster of Paris or different things like that, these products let you basically soften your base, and it's gonna dry pretty quickly, and it's gonna give a lot of details and variation to your base. So to soften everything, I'm just gonna use my hand and a little bit of water. The base coat of this diorama base will be a brown color, so you can use any color that you have in hand. It could be a dollar store color, it doesn't really matter honestly. It's only a matter to give some kind of a base coat to your diorama. So to seal everything, because we're gonna pour a lot of epoxy resin, I'm gonna use this product from Vallejo, Diorama FX. This product, it's gonna dry rock hard, and it's gonna prevent from the epoxy to go into the small holes and everything like that. So we're gonna avoid a leakage. So just make sure that your epoxy resin will be on top of your diorama, not under, because honestly it's pain in the ass when you get some leakage with epoxy resin. We're gonna also use some regular sand to put on top of the paste from Vallejo, and we're also gonna add some rock textures and things like that. Like I said, you can use sand, you can use different things like that. So I'm also gonna use I would say bushes and some turf that I have from Woodland Scenics. Honestly, I probably have those boxes for, I would say, a good 20 years, and I'm still on the top layer of those boxes, and I did probably, I don't know, over 100 diorama for sure. So you buy one cases and you're probably gonna have for life. So like I said, you can basically build your base the way you are looking for. It doesn't really matter because we're gonna pour acrylic resin on top of everything, so you're not gonna really see what's in the bottom of your epoxy resin. So guys, if you want to become a Patreon, you will see a lot of different content and different footage and different things like that. So I don't have any Patreon so far, but like I said, just join. It's free. It's free for to start. And if you enjoy what you have as content, you can just subscribe to my channel and subscribe to my Patreon. So I'm just gonna finish all the rock formation by adding some brown layers. So that's basically the final result. It doesn't have to be as detailed as possible because, like I said, we're gonna pour some acrylic epoxy on top of everything. So now I'm working with the rod, the car. So I'm just gonna basically using a sponge to add some white layers to get some more variation. And honestly, now I'm using some gray. It could be like a dark gray or something like that. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, it's only to give some variation to our rust color that we will put a little bit later. So I'm using, in this case, AK Interactive medium rust. Basically, it's kind of a crusty rust. So we're just gonna apply this color all over the place to your model. And also, as soon as you finish, we're gonna use enamel thinner from Tamiya or whatever the enamel thinner that you have in hand. And we're gonna use a sponge to remove basically some pieces of the rust layer that you will use. In this case, I'm using a really large paintbrush, but you can use a sponge, or like I said, if you have a paintbrush, a regular paintbrush in hand, just use it. Basically, with the enamel thinner, you're just gonna remove some part of the rust paint that you apply. Now, before we apply the base coat, we're just gonna add some airspray, because we're gonna use the airspray chipping method to basically chip, and that's why we paint a lot of rust under our base coat layer, because like I said, it's this car will be in the bottom of a lake, so it doesn't really matter like the color you are painting it, because like I said, it's gonna be rusty as hell, so it doesn't really matter. But like I said, I'm trying to follow the real color, so this one is dark yellow or dunkelblond if you are looking for this same color. But like I said, with the epoxy, not the epoxy, but the airspray, we're gonna basically chip our model all over the place. I'm just gonna add some more detail to our base by adding some tuft. I will probably do a video in the near future to create your own tuft, because like I said, it's a super cool stuff to add to your diorama. So I'm using a product called Dirty Down Rust. It's a really awesome product if you want to get some really realistic rusty look. It's kind of a lot of R in the same sentence, but realistic, rusty, realistic. So now I add this little boat. Basically, it's a German soldier on this little boat that will be standing on it after the war. So basically, the war is over, and this guy is alone, is in this boat. So we're gonna put everything in the top of our epoxy and our river, so you will see at the end of the video. So with the Monogram Kit of the Rommel's rod, we have two skeletons. Basically, those guys are dead for years, so that's basically the plan of my diorama. And with the little boat, that's the German soldier that came with it. So basically, everything will be coated and primed with a black primer. So doesn't really matter if you have a gray primer or something like that, or you want to achieve the same kind of result. Doesn't really matter. So I'm just gonna finish painting everything, like the helmet. This one is a real German helmet, so I'm using a German field gray to paint it. And I'm also gonna paint the German uniform, so this one is also a field gray. So that's the base layer of the German uniform. I'm using my brush instead of my airbrush. For the only reason why, because it's gonna be a lot easier, and I'm a little bit lazy of doing it by airbrush. So so everything like the boat and all the details in the boat will be painting by hand. So it's a lot easier because it's gonna be a lot of details. So until basically not the end of the video, but the big chunk of the video, I will be painting a lot of details before we do the pouring of the epoxy resin. I'm also gonna add some bushes and different details to our kit, to our car. You will see with the skeleton soldier. It's gonna add a lot more detail, so we're gonna add some bushes, we're gonna add some different basically grass and things like that, just to get some more details and to basically build some layers and some variation to our model. And I'm just gonna glue everything with a mix of 50% PVA glue and 50% water. Now I'm also gonna use another product from Dirty Down. This one is Vert de Gris. In French, we say Vert de Gris. So it doesn't really matter, but Vert de Gris is another super nice product from Dirty Down. So again, all the link of the tools and the product that I'm using in this video will be in the description below. So now I just build my base with plexiglass before I'm pouring my epoxy resin. So the first layer I will do is just to put a little bit of epoxy resin all around I would say the square that I did with the acrylic sheet, just to make sure that it's not gonna leak everywhere. And I will wait a good 24 hours to make sure that it's gonna be fully dry before I will pour all the different, not different, but all the other layers of epoxy resin. So that's gonna give me the time to paint all the details into our boat. So now it's time to mix our epoxy resin. I'm basically add some dye color. It's kind of a mix of turquoise and also some green. I want to achieve, I would say, a pretty opaque color to make sure that we don't really see the bottom of our diorama. So that's why when I told you that it's not really important to make it perfect, but it's a good way to basically work your craft and try to do a diorama for the first time. So everything's going to be poured, and I'm also going to use a torch after I pour the epoxy resin to remove the bubble, because when I mix my epoxy with this tool, it's going to make a lot of bubble. And basically it's not mandatory, but I'm just going to basically shine my epoxy resin a little bit more by using kind of a car wax and my drill, just to make sure that you're gonna polish the surface a little bit more. Now we're gonna do some waves. I'm using Mod Podge to do that. So basically it's a mix of matte Mod Podge, and I'm gonna use, you will see a little bit later, but I'm gonna use my airbrush, just the air, to mimic the wave by using I would say a lot of pressure from my airbrush, like I would say a good 20 psi. I'm just gonna give some little push on my handle, and basically this way it's gonna mimic some wave to my diorama, and after it's gonna be dry, you will see the result. So now, like I said, I'm just finishing the last touch with my airbrush to mimic the wave perfectly. And like I said, it doesn't have really to be perfect, because when it's gonna dry, it's gonna be translucent. You're not gonna see a lot of the wave you just created. And I would say one of the last thing that I do is I'm gonna finish everything with a white dry brushing with a really large paintbrush. And now it's time just to put our little boy on this boat, and I hope you enjoyed this one, guys. See you in the next one.